Alright, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be installing the SOS Stealth license plate bracket. This is good for every first generation NSX 1991 to 05, meant for the OEM front bumper. Here's what you get in the box. There's some instructions with pictures and different orientations based on which front end you have. Here's the bracket itself. Here are the side pieces which the bracket attaches to. This attaches to the bumper. All really nice, very nice aluminum, nicely painted aluminum. Almost has like a brushed look to it. And of course your various hardware. So here's a look at the hardware that SOS includes. Unfortunately, I'm actually missing one of these bolts. So 2 of these are 6x16, but the other 6 are supposed to be 6x12, and I only have 5 of them. Not a big deal because I have extra bolts, but it's just disappointing, you know, that SOS is missing, shipped this missing a piece of hardware. It's got 2 rubber spacers, 4 clips, and two of these type, 5 lock washers, and 5 thumb screws. Quick note, if you're interested in this for your 02 to 05 front end NSX, it's important to note that from what I can gather from this last page, the swinging function, basically quick being able to quickly put it away, only works for 91 to 2001 front ends. According to this, because there's an air temperature sensor, you basically need to mount the plate in the opposite direction compared to the 91. So you can see these plates that hold the license, the bracket. This bracket that holds the license plate needs to be mounted upside down for the 02 to 05 front end to avoid hitting the air temperature sensor bracket. So essentially you need to loosen up and remove all 4 thumb screws and remove the bracket completely to be able to mount it where you can see the plate, and then to be able to put it away. Whereas with the 91 to 01 front end, you can leave one set of thumb screws mounted on and just loosely, and you can be able to slide it out and fold it down back and forth. So I didn't realize that, but my car's a 91, so with just an 02 to 05 front end. So I don't have the air temperature sensor, so I'm going to be mounting it according to this method so I can flip it in and out. But that's an important thing to note for you guys that actually have the air temperature sensor. Before you actually purchase this might be something that might annoy you and may make you not want to purchase this in the first place. So again, I'll be installing this the 91 to 01 style way. So this is going to be the top side, and what you're going to want to do is grab this type of clip and slide it on. Slide it on like so. And the bolts that you're supposed to use are the 6x12. I'm probably going to end up changing these since they're bright chrome. Probably change it to black. But for the purposes of this DIY, I will show you how to do it with the included hardware. I'll have it loosely mounted because I'm going to change it later, but that's the first step. The second step is to install the brackets now. So these brackets are going to attach in two spots. These two tabs in the back, and we're gonna slip one of the clips in each spot in the front bumper. So this clip is gonna go right here. Each bracket is gonna mount in like this. And on top of each bracket, you can have this rubber spacer in this position right here. All right, first off, I'm gonna install this clip. And so this nut side is gonna be facing upwards, and you're gonna clip it in towards the front of the car. Okay, now you're gonna grab your bracket and the rubber spacer, and with the longer of the two bolts, you're gonna mount it up to this clip that you just put in. The shorter bolt goes to the rear of the car, rear of the bracket. So the shorter bolt goes in next, and you're gonna mount these loosely. So it's mounted loosely right now. The reason you want to mount it loosely is so you can finalize the width based on your license plate later on. So it has this left to right movement. Okay, so now we're ready to mount the plate assembly in. And so what you want to do is grab 4 of the thumb screws and 4 of the lock washers. The lock washers are going to go directly on the thumb screws like that. And you're going to mount up the plate like so. And you're going to want to tighten these 2 brackets on the sides, push them in towards the center. So this piece of the bracket's threaded, and so it's going to go in, bolt it in from the side. You just bolt it in like this and loosely tighten the thumb screw like so. Do that to both sides. With the thumb screws loosely mounted, you can see how it's going to function. And so this is essentially how it works. And when you keep this plate up, you're going to have to install the other 2 thumb screws. Essentially, you can install the front plate at a straight angle like so. Essentially, you can install the plate like this, and you use these bottom holes to put the second set of screws in here to lock it in place. So there's 2 settings actually. You can lock it in place straight, or you can undo it, put it at an angle like this, which doesn't allow too much angle. And you can lock it in at a slight angle like that. So once you have the width of these brackets down to where it's not too tight and not too loose, and allows your plate to slide back and forth easily, then you're going to want to tighten the 2 bolts holding in the bracket. So I essentially have it pretty much where I want it, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten all 4 of these bolts. Here's a full function test for you guys. It's fully installed. Tighten up these brackets, so the rest of it is just loosening and tightening these thumb screws as you please to put away the plate or show the plate. So to pull it out, you have to fully release these front 2 thumb screws. Pull it out. Tighten up all 4 thumb screws. And there it is. not super good looking, but sometimes you need this in California. So most of the time I'm gonna have this put away. Pretty simple, pretty cool product from SOS. Very easy installation. Took about probably 10-15 minutes. Here's a nice look from further away. So now this is all installed. If you're wondering what the difference is between the 02 to 05 front end and 91 to 01, apparently there's an air temperature sensor that's somewhere in here for the 02 to 05, which doesn't allow you to, if you mount the plate straight up, there's not enough room. So SOS tells you you have to mount it downwards like this. And when you do it like that, of course, there's no way for it to come out and swing down, so you have to unloosen all 4 bolts, physically remove it like this, and then put it back on. So it's not, you don't get a slide in and out motion that you do with a 91 to 01. Alternatively, they said you can rotate the air temperature sensor upwards, and then you'd be able to mount it like a 91 to 01. So unfortunately, I don't have the air temperature sensor to show you guys, but that's just something to think about. In case you are doing this on your, or thinking about doing this on your 02 to 05 NSX.